everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Behind the Dish Softball. I'm really excited for today's conversation because I have one of my good friends from college, Todd McCollough, owner and founder of TMAC Fitness, on with us today. So, it's funny, social media can make you feel like you've talked to someone every single day, right? You follow their stuff. Now, Todd and I haven't seen each other's faces and talked in person since college, and that was a hot minute ago. But he's one of those people that I know, send him a text, hey man, let's talk. And he's like, yeah, let's do this. So Todd, welcome to Behind the Dish Softball. We're so excited to have you kind of pour into us with your personal training, nutrition, MindRight, just everything that you've learned from being an elite athlete to your current practice. So welcome to Behind the Dish.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. And to note for you, Ashley, is that, it's been 15, 20 years since we've last seen each other.
Set a number, man.
This is one thing for all you young athletes out there. What you remember are the good people. And Ashley, you were always one of those folks. And
Thanks,
so,
buddy.
you go by all these years, you shoot a text, hey, let's hop on a call. Let's do it. No question.
Absolutely.
That's one thing for all you young athletes is you remember the good folks. So keep that in mind.
And you can go, like you said, 15 years without seeing each other. And it's like Dara. Dara was the maid of honor in my wedding, and Dara and I haven't seen each other since in 10 years. But she's still one of my best friends, and we talk all the time. And she's
another
cool.
special human. Yeah,
she is. She very much is. Well, let me introduce everybody to Todd. I met Todd at the University of Florida. Todd was a linebacker for the Gators. Fellow badass, if you will. But Todd was born and raised in North Florida. Like I said, he played football for the University of Florida. And I'm just going to read his bio here. So like many athletes, Todd suffered numerous injuries. I remember one of the shoulder injury or surgeries that you had. Was it sophomore year? Might have been sophomore year.
I think that was junior year. We were playing Miami.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that one. So following UF, you went into a career in financial advising, right? Or finance with Merrill Lynch.
I was a financial advisor. Can you believe that shit?
No, but yes. I mean, you're smart. Absolutely. But 2008 was an amazing time for all of us who graduated in that time period because it was the economic recession, right? So those of us who came out of college right then, and, you can't get a job unless you have experience. And so how do you get experience when no one will hire you? And then it's a recession, so nobody's hiring anyway. So that was fun. But so you were laid off as a financial advisor in 2008 in the recession. So at that point, you knew it was time to change directions. Football injuries led you to a yoga studio. You told us a little bit of that, which we'll dive into when we were kind of chatting before. But this is where you discovered really your passion to blend yoga and physical fitness and training. TMAC Fitness was kind of born out of that experience, right? And so TMAC Fitness is a personal training business where, Todd, you've trained thousands of clients, including Olympic athletes and celebrity artists. And then you grew TMAC Fitness to an online membership-based company. And I've done your workouts. They're 20-minute, like TMAC 20. I've done those, and they will humble you in 20 minutes very quickly. I remember trying to do these at lunch one day. And it was the frog jumps one, buddy, and I couldn't walk for a week. I was like, gosh, dang it, Todd.
You being a catcher, the frog jump should have been right in your alley.
Yeah, but that was
those knees no longer work.
There's 7 knee
do
surgeries.
Do the yoga videos instead. Do our yoga.
Exactly. I needed to. We're going to talk about the mindset piece, and I want to talk into that mindset piece. I mean, you have a strong emphasis. I mean, I think you built TMAC on the mindfulness piece. Your tagline is MindRight. I mean, it's hashtag MindRight. Everything you do, you end every workout with a meditation piece. So to get this conversation started, we had talked a couple episodes ago with Nancy where she shared her battles with her eating disorder, right? And her body image and her challenges when she was at the University of Arizona. And, Shelby and Dr. Alley and I were talking, how do we follow up that conversation? Because so many people have reached out to us wanting more education surrounding that whole athlete, not only the workouts, but the food, right? How do we fuel our body for an athlete? How do you keep the mindfulness and that intention at the heart of that? So Todd, I want to kick you off just kind of talking about, MindRight and TMAC Fitness and what you're doing now, because I mean, I was reading something on you that said your formula is a fantastic way for everybody from amateurs to athletes to carve time for their bodies, minds, and overall well-being. And for me, that's the perfect kickoff to help our parents, maybe former athletes, our parents be healthy, but also for our athletes to get in that rhythm as well. So tell us how MindRight got started.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, actually, it was much simpler than that. How it was essentially, I had a goal of really two things. One, helping people move their bodies every day, right? You know, that the feeling of a great workout, that sense of empowerment, and then also connect to your spiritual practice. And for whatever reason, those have been separate. And I remember years ago when I was asking like someone to give me advice, I was like, hey, I'm looking to do these home workouts, combining athletic training with yoga. And I also want to put this meditation prayer in that's been really helpful. And they're like, do not do that. Like, there's a reason why those are separate. And then look, and my response was, we can work out all we want. We can eat all the kale we want. But if our soul is not at peace, we will never experience true wellness. Mm-hmm. And my goal and intention with this whole program is to give people simply a way to move their bodies every day. Our workouts are just 20 minutes, no equipment, and a chance to connect with their spiritual practice. And look, I'm no yoga guru, but I created a framework with a 4-part meditation that allows everyone to connect to their spiritual practice. And that's been a game changer in my life. Now it's helped over close to 30,000 people that wake up in the morning, move their bodies, connect to their spiritual practice. And I think for young athletes, it's extremely important because the world will tell you that you're valued because of your athletic ability, right? You can throw the softball hard, you can hit the ball. And I think, I saw the other day that the Surgeon General put out a report that we have an epidemic right now going on of suicide with our adolescent youth. There's an increase from 2019 to 2021, a 51% increase, which is crazy, right? And social media is the easy blame, right? We're now facing, images and mental things that you and I did not have to deal with at that level with social media. That being said, I think that's an easy scapegoat. And so I think it goes back to a deeper sense of human beings always struggling to find value and meaning in life and how you find that. And so like a great book out there by Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, is a great read, right? And essentially this is a guy that was put in a Nazi prison camp and was stripped of everything in life. And essentially he came to a meaning and purpose that you find meaning and purpose in service of others. And so that to me is like, when I see what's going on with today's youth, it's heartbreaking. And I think that, yes, social media like puts gasoline on the fire, but as parents, as mentors, we have to be talking to our athletes about what is their value as a human being. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's different for everyone. Like I was fortunate. I found Jesus Christ at 12 years old, and that became my identity. It was, you go fast forward to when we were at Florida, there's 90-something thousand people screaming in the fans, and people pat you on the ass and tell you how good you are, et cetera. They'll also tell you how bad
after a bad game. 90,000 people booing you,
right? Yeah. Imagine I go to Tennessee, it's 110,000, right? The whole thing's just shaking, people booing at you.
You walk in the stadium and you're immediately being booed and things thrown at you.
Exactly, right?
Whatever.
And so if you have your identity in that, or how many damn social media followers you have, right? I think that you're setting yourself up for a heartbreak and some mental issues down the road. And so again, what I encourage all athletes to do is keep doing your workout, train with your coach, do your thing. I'd love for you to try to do our MindRight meditation at the end of your workout. And what that does is it switches over the nervous system into a more relaxed state. So the immediate benefit that you'll receive from this is you'll lower your stress levels, right? If you're a high performance athlete, lowering your stress levels during season is critical. Look, to be real and honest, like in our 20s, actually, I was shitting blood as a college athlete. Yeah. That is the type of stress that we were under at that level, right? So being able to lower your stress is a pretty damn good thing. But really what happens over time, think of the mind as like a muscle, just like your glutes. The more you train it, the more it grows. And just a couple minutes each day can have a huge impact. And what the main benefit that comes from a consistent meditation, and what you'll see, Allison, you probably can talk more about this, is you're lengthening the gap between stimulus and response. And so that will be a game changer. Let's just say, Ashley, you're coaching one of your kids and you're getting on their ass, and all of a sudden they're not listening to you, right? The front part of their brain is taken over by the animalistic part of your brain, and they're not listening, right? But if they can pause, lengthen that gap between stimulus and response, and be like, hey, coach is actually trying to help me here. Can I learn in this moment? Yeah. Take this home with you, right? For example, let's just say you're getting ready to walk out the door and your kid just spills something on her dress for school. Now you have to change, go through the whole process. How do you choose to respond in that moment?
In that moment.
In that moment. And what meditation does is it helps you lengthen that gap between stimulus and response. And
so when we talk about, and it's so true, I mean, and I've said this before, I would go through a ridiculous amount of batting gloves, because after a bat at bat, I would be so mad, and I'm trying to take my batting gloves off. I'd literally rip them off my hands. So in that moment, that's that piece, right? That's that lengthening piece you're talking about. So when you talk about meditation and connecting the spiritual piece, that can mean something different for everybody. You posted this morning, I saw on your Instagram, kind of a morning yoga routine when you talked a lot about visualization, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be prayer, but your meditation can be gratefulness, right? So
my meditation actually is 4 parts, and it takes people through a journey. So one, I've found that it's more helpful and for people to, again, habit stack the meditation at the end of your workout. Again, these have always been separate, but if you're asking an athlete to work out for an hour a day, go watch film, spend 20 minutes meditating, go to school, it's never going to happen. So what you do is you have a new habit, a meditation, and you stack it at the end of your workout. And what a workout does, think of it as a kid with a temper tantrum. You basically shake all the energy out first, and then it's easier to drop in to the meditation. And so it's just a couple of minutes. It's 4 parts. Part 1 is just a moment of gratitude, right? Got a chance to talk with my buddy today, got a roof over your head, whatever it is, make it personal. Second part is now we're lifting up a loved one. Or imagine maybe it's your child. Imagine a glowing light hovering over them as they go about their day. See a smile come across their face. The third part now is where it tips into the visualization. What does a good day look like? More importantly, what does it feel like? For example, if you're on deck, you're taking your swings. Can you see yourself hitting that ball? What does that feel like? Maybe you have an important business meeting today, a sales call that you want to go well. What does that moment feel like? Step into that moment right now. And then finally, it's just being present, being still. This is where everything goes silent. You listen to the rise and the fall of the breath. And this was inspired by Psalms 46:10, where it says, be still and know that I am God. And so that's kind of the 4-part meditation. It takes 3 to 4 minutes. And what I've found, and what a lot of my clients have found, that it's better to do something short and simple like that every day than 20 minutes once a week.
Absolutely.
That's what we call the MindRight meditation.
Man, I wish I had this when I played. This is so cool. I mean, you talk about, shitting blood, right? I actually had 3 ulcers.
Wow.
In college on my freshman year, because I didn't know how to handle stress. I didn't know how to take that time to just think. I was just jumbled. So I do wish I would have had this. This is super cool.
It's an incredible tool. Yeah, it's an incredible tool.
Well, and
go ahead, Alice.
Todd, I love how you put in your 3rd step there, you talked about like the good day, but you said, and what does that look like, that visualization rehearsal, right? But you layered it with an emotion. And you put like, what does that get? And so often, like Ashley talks about, ripping off that in frustration and, I didn't lift enough. And my other teammate did better than me. She got more steps in, whatever. Right. And so what happens is you put a negative emotion attached with something. And so now you have to work harder to remove that negative emotion.
Interesting.
And when you sit, it's really interesting, because every experience you attach emotion. And when you attach a negative emotion, you actually have to work harder, and like 5 times harder, to remove that negative emotion to replace. So, when with the workout and coming in and then sitting down and actually putting a positive emotion attached to what that good day looks like is scientifically is beautiful. It works. And I love that you said that. Not just what does it look like, but what does it feel like? Because that experience, that feeling, is what your mind recalls every time you're in that situation. So it's what you feel like.
You're 100% right. And so actually, a little background on, so each part of that 4-part comes from much. We could talk an hour on each one of those 4 parts. The visualization part. So sophomore year, we're playing South Carolina. Lou Holtz was the coach at the time. And, you're in the hotel room on Friday nights, going through your playbook, texting your girlfriend, you're watching, you're doing all this stuff, right? For whatever reason that night, I always play the game the night before in the hotel room in my head.
Okay, time out. friends, listeners, there's a theme. Last week, John Buck told us how he goes through his at-bats the night before.
Yep.
We just heard it again.
His mind was right. And so I was playing the game in my head, and this one play kept coming up in short yardage that I saw on film over and over, that Coach Holtz liked to do. And all of a sudden now, you forget about it. It's in and out of your mind at that age. Like I said, you're 20 years old. You're so many other things are on your mind. And all of a sudden it's 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter. Game is on the line. 93,000 people are screaming. And if you're on the field level with that many people, I can be from me to you and you just see lips move. Mm-hmm. It is that loud. The ground is shaking. Mm-hmm. And I can remember everything. They come out in that formation and everything going completely quiet. I could see the blades of grass on the field. I could see the tight end's fingers as he was pressing into the ground, the blood there. I could see the pupils of the fullback in the backfield. Everything was silent. Wow. As soon as the ball was snapped, I jumped the gap, hit the ball carrier in the background. Everyone goes crazy. We win the game, right? 4th and 1, big play, et cetera. We come in the film room next day, and the linebacker coach was like, I had no idea how the hell you knew that was happening, but I totally took credit for it. He was like, how did you know that was taking place? And I was like, I saw it happen before it happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old. I have no idea how to articulate being in that zone at that moment. Mm-hmm. But that is where the visualization came. Whereas now, we're entrepreneurs, we're building our business, whatever that is. Maybe it's simply going for a walk with your children after work. What does it feel like? That's where the visualization comes from.
It's so key. So key to that success.
And seeing yourself succeed in those moments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Which I don't know about for you guys, but look, I got a business degree from Florida and yada, yada. It's supposed to be good, but I used 90% of everything in my business from what I learned as an athlete.
Same.
Like resilience, time management, how to get up when you get knocked down. I mean, for me, there is no better training to run a business than to be an athlete.
And we've talked about that a lot. I mean, and in the foundation of our training academies, it's giving these athletes the tools to be successful in life. And you learn that through sport. Sport is that vehicle. Sport is that platform to do that, right? Those are the only moments you can experience that kind of pressure, number one, and learn how to thrive in that moment. So maintaining consistency with your workouts in your meditation. Consistency seems to be a thing that I see with a lot of my athletes. They'll start off and they'll get a good rhythm. And then they're like, oh yeah. I fell off the wagon.
Well, so there's a couple of things when you're looking at behavioral change that I've noticed. One is it's such a common word now, but I don't think people really take the time to appreciate the importance of starting off with a deep why. Why do you want to develop this new habit, right? Working out, improving your pitching. Why? Like you really got to peel back the layers for that. All right, write it down, put it somewhere you see every day, just like because you're an athlete, eventually bad habits are going to creep back in and you're not going to want to do that, right? So write that down, why you want to do it. Not just like say, I want to do X, Y, Z, but why you want to do that, right? And have that somewhere you want to be. And then the second thing, extremely important, is finding an accountability partner, right? So we do this with our fitness programs. So we make sure we match you up with an accountability partner. This could be a coach in softball, right? Find someone that's going to hold you. Hey, this is my goal. This is why it's important to me. Please hold me accountable. Have a daily check-in, right? And the third part is what our program is like. We would say, figure out a program that meets you where you are right now. So the majority of our people are busy mom and dads. They don't have time to go to the gym. Here in January, all the gyms are going to try to collect people's memberships and hold them for a year because they know in March they're not going to be there, right? That going to the gym is fantastic. The reality of a busy parent with 3 kids going to the gym every day at 5 a.m. isn't going to happen to most people. Right. So pick a program that meets you where you are right now. So those are kind of the 3 things. One, find out a deep why, find an accountability partner, and find a program, maybe a coach that meets you where you are right now.
I love that. If you were going to take on, let's say, high school, college aged female athlete, any sport, and you're their personal trainer and you're going to coach them up on the nutrition side, what advice would you give them? What would you detail for them?
Go work with a nutritionist.
Yeah, fair. Well, walk us through.
So I'll give you. So we have a couple pillars with TMAC Fitness as a company, right? Sweat, which is the movement, eat, which we'll talk about now. And then 3 is the MindRight. And then the 4th is the community. So the eat part I always say is that if you can eat real whole food. And what do I mean by that? If you can plant it, pick it, or catch it, it's probably pretty good for you. And if man-made, stay away, right? And that sounds so basic and simple. People want to count their macros, their micros. They want to go into counting calories. I've been doing this over a decade. I have not seen that lead to a healthy, long-term, sustainable lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be sitting there having a good meal with your friend at lunch and trying to count your calories.
No.
It's just not a healthy way to live life.
No.
So we teach people basic principles. You go out to eat, find one protein, whatever that is, with 2 servings of vegetables, right? Eat real whole food. It's really that simple. If we could do that, we could get rid of most of the obesity and diabetes issues in this country. And which is, we have a whole other issue to talk about, right? But it's eating real whole food. People want some sort of magic pill, some sort of magic shake. Supplements are a great tool, but remember, they are supplements to a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. And so getting people, look, I grew up on Pop-Tarts with butter and a Mountain Dew for breakfast. Right? Like,
same.
Lunch was Taco Bell, dinner was Pizza Hut. So if
I ate Moe's burritos, I think they made it like twice in one. It's my favorite. And if you haven't been in the South and experienced Moe's, like it's the best. But I would get a home wrecker burrito probably twice a day. There were times I did that.
Yeah. And at the time I was on a 6,000 calorie a day diet in Florida. Yeah,
same.
Right.
Just because, for me.
Yeah, we were just training so much, but there wasn't enough. When we've grown so much since then is that, in the day it was like calories are calories. Well, now what we've learned is that food is information. It literally changes the cells in your body. Yes, it does. Right. And so when I say eating real whole food, like you're going to get the vitamins, the nutrients, the minerals that you need. Right. And then if you want to supplement, cool, do that. But the basis of your nutrition plan should be real whole food. And I guarantee if we go to 99% of Americans in their cabinets right now, it's filled with a bunch of shit that's not real whole food. Mm-hmm. So I think start with everyone wants to have some sort of new fad diet. Mm-hmm. And they all I love intermittent fasting. These are great tools, but the basis should be eating real whole food. So if you're a parent out there, getting your kid on a real whole food diet, it was priority number 1 as far as the food goes. And then that will remove so many issues.
Are there some resources you can recommend? I mean, I know you, the Whole30, right?
I think Whole30 is probably the best, most affordable way for the masses to learn about their body and food. Now, so people say that it's a fad diet. It's a 30-day elimination diet. Like it's clear, like you should do this for 30 days, remove these things that could cause inflammation in your body, and then slowly implement them back in. Mm-hmm. Right. And then you'll see, maybe I do well with dairy, but I don't do well with gluten. So like you do the 30, what it does is it's 30 days of real whole food. Sounds pretty simple, but it's actually really hard. And it's gotten a lot easier now because all the companies have jumped on board. But people have literally gotten off their diabetes medicine by just doing Whole30. So I think that that's baseline level 1. If you have the resources, work with a dietitian or a functional medicine doctor. The majority, I would say 90-something% higher, probably 95% of our people, that if we can have them eat real whole food, do our workouts, meet their, lose tons of weight, meets their goals. For whatever reason, if you're not, and you have the financial resources, I'm really fascinated by functional medicine and the place that that's taken. And essentially functional medicine is merging, traditional medicine with more holistic lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're coming in like, hey, here's your diabetes medicine. Yes, we'll give you that, but let's get rid of diabetes in the process, right? And so if you have the resources, I can give some links to those. Parsley Health, a friend of mine out of New York, is doing a really good job of making it semi-affordable, because it's really, if you go work with a functional medicine doctor, you're probably going to drop $7,000 like that. Wow. But Parsley Health is a great one because they're essentially making like a co-op where you pay like $150 a month. Mm-hmm. But I think that the future of medicine, and the kids listening to this podcast, I hope that when they're our age, functional medicine will be everyday common language.
Well, food is not only fuel, food is also medicine. It's got the vitamins and the minerals that we need. When you were an athlete at UF, how many times a day did you eat?
6.
How about you, Shelb?
8. A lot.
You beat me, Shelb. You beat me.
I ate a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I was routinely 5, if not 6, depending on the day. Right.
So Carrie and their girlfriend in college who played volleyball, we would eat dinner at training table. And then we would go home and remember, training table was loaded with food. We'd go home and order a large Domino's pizza with cinnamon sticks for our second dinner.
Yeah. Can't do that today, can you?
No. I think for me, I was just snacking a lot throughout the day. Yeah. I always had something.
Your blood glucose levels get all shot like that. And that's why I've been really interested. I don't have the experience with to recommend, obviously, for everyone, but particularly people our age, even more so males. Intermittent fasting does an amazing job of regulating your blood sugar levels, because we all wake up, we typically grab something sugary, something carbohydrates, and it just spikes your insulin levels for the whole day. So you get this rise and crash. And so then all of a sudden, like you were talking about, well, then I had a snack because I need to get my glucose levels back up. Yeah. Whereas if you're doing intermittent fasting, which, let me repeat, this may not be for everyone, but for most folks our age, even if you do like the Whole30, right? Like you're eating real whole foods, you're eating eggs, right? You're eating bacon, you're keeping your body at a stable level. So you're not doing this rise and crash all the time.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Well, Todd, I can't thank you enough for being on this and sharing your story and your knowledge and your expertise. For our listeners, the TMAC 20 fitness workout, I mean, it's 20 minutes, it's home-based, you don't need equipment. I've done it, it's challenged me, but Todd has put together incredible workouts that basically for the mind, body, and to kind of fuel your soul. Excuse me, I forgot to talk there for a minute. But it is incredible. I mean, how much, movement helps your mood and your mindset. And so if you're looking for a home-based workout, if you want to get moving again, if you're interested in anything that Todd has talked about, please go to tmacfitness.com and just check out the incredible programs that he's put together. The fact that the MindRight is at the center of all of that is incredible. And Dr. Allie and Shelby, we were talking before we came on about how we just love that you end every workout with that meditation and whatever that looks like for you. But Todd, you've got your 4-part series on your website, right?
Yeah, you just go to the website. You can there's a link there for the meditation. It's completely free. And then if you want the workouts, you can get 10 days for free there as well. So just go to tmacfitness.com and you can find it there.
Which is awesome. So ending your workouts with the meditation. I didn't do that in college. I wish that I would have.
Me too.
Bring that stress level down. For me as a hothead, my adrenaline goes through the roof. So to be able to regulate that and to bring that back down and just, wow, all the things. I'm blown away by your program, Todd. You're one of my favorite humans in the world. You're good people.
Likewise.
I appreciate what you do. Just what you're doing. I'm so proud of you, and just to see everything you put together. It's like, I know him. Hey,
this is something that's gonna be real. I'm excited about this as well. Like you guys got a chance to reach and carry the conversation and to pass it on what you've learned to the next generation. And I think that's what it's all about.
Well, it's crazy when you have kids, and when you get there, you look at those little ones and go, what kind of world do I want for them, and what kind of programs do I want for them? And then it gets real. It's go time.
I'll be getting your advice on that one. I still got to ask.
Well, then they grow up and you get to watch them, because mine are all older and they go out in the world and they're their own beings. And it's so amazing to watch all the work that you did when they were younger and how they blossom and they grow and they're all over. And it's
awesome. Well, we will put, we're going to post. So Todd, if you can send us some links, just resources that you'd mentioned, we're going to put those on our website, and we'll put them on the Behind the Dish SB social media platforms. So our listeners have those tools and those resources as well.
Everyone get their mind right. Let's go.
Let's go. Love it. Mind right.
All right, Allie, take us home.
So everyone, thank you for listening today. You can check out our most current podcast at BehindtheDishSB.us, or you can see us on all of our platforms, from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of them, Facebook, Behind the Dish, all the things. You know where to find us. Thanks.
All right. Get your mind right.
Thank you.
Get your mind right. Love it. Thanks, Todd. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I love the biggest nugget that I got from everything is that meditation after workout. I don't practice that, and I'm now committing to that. I do meditation morning, night, and kind of midday sometimes. Okay. But and lots of affirmations, but I'm definitely going to incorporate that quick meditation, your 4 quick step 2-minute meditation after a workout. Me
too.
I am absolutely in love with that. And all my athletes that I work with, you're going to now have that challenge.
Same here.
Yeah, I love it. So thank you very much for your wisdom.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
you.